Welcome to Vision Profiles, a podcast for dedicated Apple Vision Pro users. We dive into everything from hardware and software to apps and the latest news in the world of spatial computing. This week, we've got a pretty packed episode, some stuff left over from visionOS 27, Post-WWDC updates, some real-world Vision Pro work, and all sorts of things, including a story about how Vision Pro helped Disney re-engineer a classic Epcot ride. So we will be talking about that. And with me, our usual team, Eric.
Oh, you got to me? My network's coming out. So I'm assuming you got to me. Yes, I'm Eric Bolden. I work in IT and occasionally pay attention, mostly playing with photography of plants, birds, panoramic sequences, and now betas.
And David.
I am Dave Ginsburg, host of the In Touch with iOS podcast, IT professional and iPhone subject matter expert. I'm continually discovering new ways the Apple Vision Pro is shaping the future of computing.
Yeah, and we have Statler and Waldorf in the chat room and joining us tonight, as we do every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's great to have guests in as part of this. So let's get started with the show, and let's talk a little bit about some of these articles that there's really nothing new to with this. So it's kind of a thin week, I think, after WWDC and the news from last week. It's kind of a thin week in terms of this stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of it. The first article is from AppleInsider, and Apple Vision Pro's biggest problem isn't addressed in the visionOS 27. But progress is progress. And I anticipated that the biggest problem was the price tag. And that's not what they're saying in this article. They're saying that the biggest problem is compatible iPad apps still aren't being converted to native visionOS apps. Developer relationships persist as well. But outside those gaps, this is described as a feature-filled update. And, I also heard that the developers, although not pleased with the keynote because it was focused on product and the software and not on developing, they did a good job of giving the developers lots of software plugins, things that they can do in terms of this. Some standout UI changes. Safari can now expand into ultra-wide curved view. Tabs break into a tall, skinny carousel. And Control Center has been redesigned for the third time, now using 3 distinct panes for audio, controls, and notifications. So they are putting time and energy into this platform. Just a week ago or 2 weeks ago, there's all this talk about how they really don't pay much attention to visionOS, and it seems like they are. Any thoughts, guys?
Yeah, this is just speculation. Just like everybody thinks that the Vision Pro is going away. Well, it's not. It's just, this is taking time, just like we've been talking about. It's spatial computing. It continues to evolve. Things are going to continually change. You can't keep up. It's the same thing with AI. Things are changing. You got to keep up. This Apple has not said otherwise. So I shake my head to this.
Eric, any thoughts?
Really, visionOS is the proving ground for every element that they want to be able to come out with everywhere else, including Vision Pro. So testing some of the glasses things, testing the audio stuff, testing, object manipulation, improvements in websites, all of that. They need a place to put it so that you can try it out. And so developers can see it and try it out. And Vision Pro gives you that. And so everyone discussing, is this the end or whatever, because we don't have a brand new piece of hardware. They're just not using it, I guess, because it is essential for everything going forward.
Yeah, well, Stadler and Waldorf said, so what is the biggest thing that's holding them back? According to the article, the biggest thing is the fact that developers are not developing enough native visionOS apps. They're just porting over iPad apps instead of making the changes with it. So that, according to AppleInsider, and their opinion with it. Hey, we got another article, actually is more of a YouTube thing, and it started off as a link to X, and they had like 2 minutes of it, but there's a full video on YouTube that basically the issue is, I asked Apple about visionOS 27 and Vision Pro rumors. And this is a good 20, 30-minute video where the conversation is with Steve Sinclair, Senior Director at Apple, whose team is responsible for product management and product marketing for visionOS. And they had some really good, it's a good video to watch if you're into the platform. And it was the idea that it's still early and in the innings for spatial computing. There's a lot of things that we're doing and we're learning and we're continuing to improve on and continuing to invest in, which is a direct rebuttal from some of the claims about Vision Pro being dead. And I like what Eric said, too, that there are things they're testing it. They're putting in Vision Pro to test for other platforms. And I also think about one of the things you didn't mention was just sort of the foveated viewing and eye looking at glances and where people are glancing in order to do that. So, yeah, interesting video that is positive and gives some hope for what the future is going to look like, and sort of reasonable in an analysis of it. So let's see, looking at what else is new. Yeah, there is also another video that's affiliated with this it's from Philip Elmer DeWitt, PED30.com. And it is the head of Apple Vision Pro marketing demos, visionOS. And it's a link to the video that covers a bit of that in terms of that information. So we'll go on to another area, this having to be Siri on Vision Pro, getting eye tracking and, in a sense, visual intelligence, visual awareness alongside the new AI features. And this is from Road to VR. Apple spent a major portion of its WWDC 2026 keynote this week talking about new AI features and how that is going to fit in with the process. An interesting way in which the S person is going to be a floating orb in the new version of visionOS. So where you look kind of generates the orb, and you can kind of look at it and then ask questions or pose ideas. To activate it, simply look at the orb and start talking. No tap, no gesture, no wake word is required. Siri also gains see what you see capabilities, and visual intelligence means that the assistant has context for both your digital environment and your real-world pass-through viewing simultaneously. So all of that is very cool. And it's, they've referred to it as the S Lady. I just triggered my own device here by calling it by its original name. So I think I'm going to call it SAI because it's the S person AI. So SAI. CNET frames this as a genuine paradigm shift. With SAI on Vision Pro, it just isn't voice command tools anymore. It's spatially aware, and it is an AI companion for you. So interesting kinds of stuff going on with this. Comments, gentlemen, or any considerations?
Being able to look to have an interaction is going to be so worth it. Because there's nothing worse than having an activation when you didn't intend to have one just because you're saying a sentence with a word somewhat close, or turning everything off so you have to go figure out where you're going to click before you get a response to something because you couldn't handle the activation. So being able to sit there in a virtual office with widgets on the wall and a virtual screen and everything else going on, and then wondering about something, looking over to the sphere, asking your question, getting I'm just looking forward to it.
Okay. Yeah, and I think it's the one device that can do stuff like that. How good it's going to be will be interesting to see when it plays out. Some other articles here, CNET article, as we mentioned before, I'm letting Siri see my life on Vision Pro, and it's a sign of things to come. And then this one, actually from Android, and this is Android headlines. visionOS gives Apple Vision Pro a huge AI and spatial computing upgrade. So complimentary from Android headlines, they talk about the announcement and what's brought. So last week's news, this week new on Android headlines. And then this comes from Mobile Tech World, visionOS, the Vision Pro features that matter, visionOS 27. And it talks about the visual intelligence, Safari, Freeform, and Apple Multiview gain curved windows, and Wi-Fi and connects are up to 3 times faster with the new Mac Virtual Display. So again, running down those features. And
so have you had a chance to try the Mac Virtual Display, Marty?
Yeah. It is pretty cool. You mean on the M5? Yeah.
Well, on anything, but connecting from the Vision Pro to a Mac, it's fast, really fast. And now there's a button you can add a widget to the wall or floating in space next to you. So if you want to reconnect, hit it, boom, the display is just right there. And I think that there's a setting now so you can tell it to stay connected. So if you take the headset off, you go do something, come back, put it back, then your display shows up again, which is nice.
Yeah. Again, there's a couple more articles that kind of fit into this realm of information. A CNET article, Apple's Vision Pro sees the world with AI in visionOS 27. So again, the idea of identifying objects with an AI-focused update that will allow it to do that. And they do point out in this article that there's a type of camera-aware AI that Google and Samsung already have in the Galaxy XR headset, which arrived last fall. And then finally, in this kind of update, this is a article from IT, or I Think Different, ITD, and it basically is giving a rundown of what's new with the beta and some issues. Itself might have a number of limitations. The SAI in Beta 1, many users may account issues with image generation, message sending, contact resolution, and environmental controls. Yeah, you cannot hope to have everything working and functional on Beta 1, and that is of a concern. People go, well, where is it? Well, it's still rolling.
Yeah, you can't expect on any Apple device. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get it right away.
There's not a lot of expandable news. I mean, basically what we've covered up to this point are the articles that basically support what's been said and what we've been talking about for a good 12 days already on the visionOS 27. There are some other sidelined articles. We'll get to those. This one is one of them from AppleInsider, and it is expect more controllers and tracked objects in visionOS 27. The idea that visionOS expands the spatial accessories framework, opening up third-party hardware manufacturers for the first time, spatial accessories like PSVR2 controllers or Logitech Muse Pen pair over Bluetooth and can include buttons and haptic feedback. High frame rate tracking mode is extended to create ML modeling training by bringing lower latency and more robust tracking for objects held in hand. Unity Polyspatial, Unreal Engine, and Godot all receive visionOS 27 updates with spatial controller plugins, meaning that game developers can target Vision Pro through familiar pipelines. A steering wheel demo showed that at WWDC was the most compelling illustration, with the idea that you would be able to use it for such things as driving apps, immersive driving apps with haptic feedback loop through it. So some interesting stuff, at least talked about with AppleInsider, this AppleInsider article. And okay, just looking at some comments in there. And again, an article here, visionOS 27 announced with new features for Apple Vision Pro. This is coming out of 9 to 5 Mac. And it talks about, here's what's new in visionOS 27. Turn panoramas you shoot into spatial scenes. Have you been doing that, Eric? I have been.
It is
That is
awesome.
so cool.
Absolutely awesome. And I like the panoramas just as panoramas. But yeah, you look at, it used to be the panorama kind of float around you. So you were inside the cylinder and can kind of look around. But now you can look around and then look out.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Dave, have you tried any?
I have not as of yet.
Okay.
Been kind of busy, but been crazy busy. But from what Eric's saying, it's got to be pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, my experience of panorama, wrapping it around and just looking at it through a Vision Pro used to be that it was like a flat picture that wrapped around you. But this conversion to turn it into spatial where there's depth. So, the chairs that are part of the thing that I'm looking at in the foreground have depth to them. And then it finally hits the wall from the distance, and the objects on the wall seem to have a certain amount of depth associated with them, where that was just one kind of flat, smoothed out surface. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got a couple panoramas where I went to like a conference room and did a panorama. And then when you're sitting in that with the depth, you get to see the length of the table and, where all of the different objects and projectors and speakers are. So just a little extra hints of what it really is like.
Yeah, the weird thing for me is when I clicked on the panorama option for photos, I had panoramas that I had forgotten I had taken because I just never look at them. I don't look at photos like you do, but I'd forgotten that I had taken them. And like large group shots where I panned around to get everybody in the group. And to do that, the other shot that I have that I really love is I went to a rooftop restaurant in the middle of the day. There weren't many people there in Istanbul, but it had this remarkable view of the Blue Mosque and Hagia Sophia, and just from the roof. And so I did a panoramic shot, and that turned out marvelously in terms of turning it into a spatial environment. There are enhanced flyover features with Apple Maps that occur. Next generation Apple Intelligence, entirely new S-Person that's responsive to your needs. Well, not all your needs. You can't bring me a beer. Just can't bring me a beer. And windows with curvatures, visual intelligence, so you can ask the S-Person about anything you're looking at, expanded notifications with your eyes, a redesigned control center, and more information is available on the Apple website. So very cool stuff, kind of summarized in this 9 to 5 Mac article.
Have you tried Safari with a bunch of tabs, expanding out to, that's kind of cool.
We're kind of jumping to an app, but you threw this in here, and I think it's probably good for us to talk about this. Eric, panoramas environment?
Let's see. Do I remember what I was doing with that? Oh, because now you can take panoramas and have them become an environment with depth and all the rest of it. So I can't get to my notes. I lost that part of my network.
Okay.
Marty, I'll let you talk about it because, you can at least see it.
Panorama environments can bring curated collection of stunning wide-angle 360 image straight to your headset, ready to download and set as your own custom surroundings. So this is a library. It's not, I guess, not only your own, which you have access to anyways, but it's a library of curated panoramas. Constantly fresh searchable feed of high-resolution wide-angle photography pulled live from Unsplash. There's legendary NASA Apollo lunar series captured by astronauts on the moon. And
And for the
Yeah.
NASA one of the moon, they actually had to take a bunch of different pictures, piece them all together to make it, but it looks good.
I have
Sorry, I
this.
didn't mean to interrupt.
No. I have this panorama that I shot when I was up in Traverse City, Michigan, I think. And we were on a bike path, and I wound up taking 3 shots to catch that at the time. This was, I think, before panorama. And I loaded them onto Google, and Google stitched them all together. Now I'm really wondering if I can download that, import it, and have the same sort of effect. But it was like wheat fields that had turned yellow, and then a few occasional trees through it, and then a blue sky. It was really quite remarkable, but it was done automatically. It was when I put it into Google, I had the separate shots, but they also, gave you the possibility to string them together.
Stitched it.
Yeah, they stitched it.
The stitch.
So
that should work really, really well.
Yeah, I've got to pull that out of Google and get it into my photos. So Alien Earth, step inside the world of FX Siri with official immersive set imagery. So yeah, there's some cool stuff here. And what is the cost? There's got to be a cost. It
Free?
Doesn't say.
Yeah.
It should say at the top.
Free.
Above the share button.
Free. Okay. So there's a freebie for you, listeners or viewers, with that. And then home button overrides. We're starting to get into the stuff that came from Reddit community. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. visionOS adds home button overrides for game controllers. And this basically talks about being able to put these in.
Yeah, because on the controllers, if you hit the home button, it doesn't do what you want it to do. It sends you back somewhere else, so you can reset it so it does what you expect it to do in a game normally.
Yeah.
Versus doing the Apple operating system thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So a convenience, it removes an annoyance that a bunch of people were having.
Apple Vision Pro. Okay, here's the article I need you Disney freaks to talk about. And we have a couple of these, I think. Apple Vision Pro helped Disney re-engineer a classic Epcot ride, and this comes from AppleInsider. And just in time for America's 250th anniversary, like we have nothing going on now, Disney Imagineers used Apple Vision Pro to help revamp Soaring at Epcot, now rebranded as Soaring Across America. A behind-the-scenes video from the Disney Unscripted YouTube series reveals the workflow in detail, and there's a link in this article to that workflow. And yeah, there it is. So you can watch that whole process of how they put that together. Normal audio mixing for Soaring attraction requires scaffolding to raise equipment and screens to the levels of the ride vehicles. On accelerated schedule for the anniversary, that was a non-starter. Instead, engineers brought in Apple Vision headsets, a small custom desk, and Bluetooth mouse and keyboard on the ride carriages themselves, replacing all of the scaffolding with physical workspace. And Statler says it is not, there's no G, it's just Soarin'.
Oh.
So
yeah.
Okay.
It's already open in Florida. It hasn't gotten there yet in California, but so that's kind of neat.
Yeah, and here's another story about it that came through Reddit with some of the clips from the source.
See, don't those engineers look great in that headset? Just like I look at the coffee shop.
Yeah, I don't see no eyeballs on that person.
Yeah, but there's glowy parts in the forehead, or where the eyes would be. That counts.
Yeah, this is all pretty.
I have to go watch the Steven Spielberg movie so I can find out about whether or not they're aliens. Yeah, that looks gorgeous. That's perfect.
Huh.
I want to look like an engineer, and I think I can pull it off.
I think, frankly,
yeah, you probably could.
I think you've already pulled it off, Eric. I don't think there's a challenge there for you. All you need is a pocket pencil protector, and you'll be able to
Oh, I got one. Wait.
Yeah, but you don't have a pocket pencil.
You don't have a
You
pocket to put it in.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
clip it in your collar.
Well, they have one of the magnet ones where you just stick it here and you put a magnet behind it, and that kind. Yeah,
Name
it looks kind of
badges too.
dorky though.
Well,
It's not as
pocket
good as the
protector
pocket
is dorky.
in a pocket. In a pocket, it looks stylish.
Oh, boy. He just keeps coming up with show names.
Yeah, he does.
This is an article that came out of Medium. So, it's a blog post essentially. But this article talks about how Apple Vision Pro innovation through new product development and continuous improvements. And that's a kind of nice retrospective of what's going on. It's a thoughtful Medium piece that examples Apple's approach to Vision Pro, arguing the platform follows the same pattern as the original iPhone and Apple Watch, things that we've talked about. I know Dave has brought that up in terms of this is how the iPhone rolled out. First generation products that define the category, followed by steady refinement.
Right.
The author makes it, yeah.
I said, right.
Yeah. Key argument, liquid glass. The design language is now central to every Apple OS 26 and 27 release. It originated on visionOS, although I don't think we want to take credit for it anymore, considering all the blowback that it got. But it was a visionOS kind of framework for it. So an interesting article from Medium that you can have access to if you want to take a look at that. This is just too weird to believe. So I will, anybody who wants to talk about this one, paying for groceries and Apple Vision. Let me get green on this for now. There's Eric wearing his Vision Pro headset and going in.
Yeah, I'm not sure about having to scan a thing, but yeah, it's close. I would do this. Actually, now I wonder if I could use the Vision Pro for Apple Pay. I haven't tried that yet. Wow.
This is it is like so weird to explain it to listeners. Basically, there was a touchpad, I guess, where you could check out and you entered the items that you had purchased. And the guy has a Vision Pro headset on and he's leaning up close. So I wonder if there is some pass-through
I think there's
issues.
A QR code or something like that to scan.
Yeah. Plus the clarity with pass-through, particularly if it's really fine print on the screen, could have been why he was leaning forward with that. But anyways, a community thread surfaced with the question, can you actually use Apple Pay through Vision Pro at a physical checkout terminal?
Can you?
And
I didn't think you could, but
the answer, it turns out, is yes.
Oh, I'm going to try it. Coffee tomorrow morning. I'm going to be there.
Yeah, please take a friend along to video you.
Don't
waste a moment.
I won't wear it while I'm driving, but once I get there,
we want actual proof, Eric.
Yeah, we want proof.
We want video proof.
Hang out with Jill. She'll do it for you.
Thread captures the reactions from Vision Pro community in genuine excitement about the utility of this to the predictable jokes about what the person at the checkout counter might have thought while they were using this. So don't just look at the video. Apparently, look at the comments that are in the Reddit thread that we have with it. I didn't quite understand this next one. WWDC wraps up today. So here's my one more thing. Peel Pro for Apple Vision Pro. Is this an app?
Yeah. Let's see. I don't remember what it did.
Let me see if I can get a video going on this. Peel nearby Mac apps into floating.
I believe, so you can, each Mac window you could send into a separate spatial window.
While you're doing
instead of a virtual display, instead of just one virtual display, there was another app that did something similar. You could just send specific windows over and then just like have a bunch of them surrounding you, like way more than you really need.
Yeah, this could be very cool. So let me go back and see. There are a couple links in the article.
Yeah. I believe it's a two-part thing. So you have to get the app for the Vision Pro, and then there's a host app to handle sending the individual windows across.
Yeah, it's got it listed here. There's the App Store app, which we can look at here. It's free with in-app purchases. What are the in-app purchases? It's free with a 3-day trial. And then after that, the only thing they have listed is Peel Pro for lifetime. So $35. So in 3 days, you get to try it and figure out whether you want to spend $35 on it. Doesn't seem to be any monthly fee on that. It just goes right, or yearly, it just goes right to $34.95 for full use.
Does it have any ratings yet?
No, I don't see any.
So it's still out in the wild there.
Yeah. It's on version 1.02.
Yeah.
When's
the last time?
That was 1 day ago.
Oh, so at least they're developing.
They fixed an issue where closed windows could unexpectedly come back, fixed dictation sometimes, sending the same text twice. So they're taking concerns seriously. So,
and they had a prototype for a while that some people were using. So even though it only shows a couple of versions, there were some early test things before that. So
last thing that I've got for tonight is a short video, not that one, but 7 new features that you can get in visionOS 27. Oh, that's not it. Trying to get the length on this. So, anyways, we'll keep that in there. Folks want to look at shorts on that. We can do that. That's all
I think it's only like 40 seconds. It's like 40 seconds. It's not very long.
Yeah, that's all I've got for tonight. 300 articles to get through, most of them stuff that we had done the previous week, and then some duplicates that we talked about tonight, but not a whole bunch of new and exciting things yet. As things roll out in OS 27 betas and things become more functional, we'll have more articles, I'm sure, about how to exactly do that or use that in visionOS. People will start writing about that. So,
And at Developer Conference, there were a bunch of sessions on Vision Pro. So I also expect once everybody's gotten back home and had time to digest that, we should start seeing improvements in apps and more stuff coming out. And maybe 3-4 months from now or 6 months from now, more video, more movies and shorts and that kind of thing.
Yeah. There was comment by Statler and Waldorf. Whatever happened to Prima? Is that must be an app? Sure, it's an app because I recognize the name. So let me go back and see if I can find it in one of the links here. Oh, Prima Immersive. Oh, yeah. I love this app. This is the one with the band where they did sessions.
Oh, yeah.
And
so have you watched anything recently from them?
No, I think that's what they're asking. Whatever happened, if you look at it, what's new? This is in February of 2025. We've been blown away by the feedback we've received since launch. We've made the following changes and improvements. Prima Immersive is now available in UK. I don't know. I still, I have that app. It's free. It has in-app purchases. Maybe I need to go to it and see if, I don't know if Statler and Waldorf has any experience with Prima, since you raised the question, if they have new content or not, but it's not showing up in their updates or comments. So
I'll go look for it too.
Yeah. So maybe we'll take a look at that and have something for you or not have something for you next time. And Brian put this in, who's joined us. I'm really happy about the OS 27 updates. Lots of good stuff to support AVP. So thanks for that comment, Brian. We couldn't agree more. So that's what I've got.
It's okay.
And that's okay. It's a regular size show instead of an overpacked show. So let's find out where we can find folks, and we'll go to Eric.
Oh, let's see. This week, digging out a chicken coop this week. Anyone wants to come help? Otherwise, it's safer if you look for me on Mastodon at EA Bolden at mas.to. Sunday nights on the Neo Notebook. What day is today? Monday? Monday on Vision Profiles. Tuesday, Mac Voices Live. And Thursday, In Touch with iOS.
Well, you can find me at In Touch with iOS, intouchwithios.com. YouTube channel is youtube.com/intouchwithios. Sundays on Neo Notebook. Mondays here on Vision Profiles. Tuesdays, Mac Voices Live. In Touch with iOS records on Thursday nights. And then on Friday, we do the Tech Hangout, the new show. That will be episode 2 this coming Friday. And you can find me on Mastodon and Blue Sky at DaveG65.
Yeah, I have to get used to the braininess, the headiness of that show, the Tech Hangout. Yeah, I felt like a real babe in the woods with some of that this last week, but it was a great inaugural show. Yeah. Find me Sunday nights with the Neo Notebook, Mondays Vision Profiles, both of those 9 p.m. Eastern Time here, streamed on YouTube. Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with Mac Voices Live with Eric and Dave and a gang of other folks. Thursdays, we have In Touch with iOS with Dave's show covering a lot of great new stuff and a good panel there too. And then Friday morning, the Tech Hangout, a revived show, a phoenix of a previous show, I guess.
Right.
With folks hanging out and talking about a couple of tech items and maybe like, let's get on something that's controversial and pick a side is sort of the strategy with that show. So you can find the rest of my stuff at thepodtalk.net. Go to that website and you'll see the other shows that I'm involved producing besides the ones that you're listening to right now. So really, thanks for joining us. And thanks to Statler and Waldorf, Brian for joining us. And I think Craig was in tonight for a bit too, trying to roll back and see if he was. Thank you for turning into Vision Profiles. We'd love to hear from our listeners. If you have ideas, feedback, or want to join a future episode, reach out to us on the Pod Talk Network at gmail.com. Usually Daniel would be here, but he's under the weather. I checked in at around 5 o'clock and he said he wasn't going to be able to make it tonight. So get healthy. We'll see you next time, Daniel. Learn more about Vision Profiles and all the shows at thepodtalk.net. Spread the word to other visionaries. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.